All right, I'm welcoming you to chair yoga at a special time where once a month we're offering an earlier class with the hopes that we can attract more folks in the European UK time zones. And we do have some friends here, new friends, who have started to join us for these sessions, joining us from the UK and from Scotland. And we have friends here from all over the United States and into Canada. So really, like I said in our first class that we did this time, we're really putting the international in the IWMF. And that is a wonderful thing to feel like our support network really spreads and really is gaining some traction around the world. So today we're going to work on some grounding and some balance. I want to start just by noticing our posture and maybe moving to the edge of your chair so that you can really place your feet down on the earth, on the floor. And you might even lift up the heels, lift up the toes a few times and feel that connection. If you're somebody who cares for peripheral neuropathy in the feet and the lower limbs, there may be decreased sensation there. And we're going to notice that and without judgment, try to be without judgment. So we're just rocking the feet, lifting the toes, lifting the heels, and then placing the feet down. In addition, today I'm going to offer you a mudra, which is a hand gesture that is sort of like an energetic seal. So our hand gesture today is going to be Adi mudra, which is sort of the first mudra that we learn when we're in the womb. And we're just going to wrap our fingers around our thumbs and place that in our laps. And this is a quieting, calming influence that might have that influence on you. You can observe what influence it has on you. And we're just going to rest the palms in the hand. The palms in the lap, if that would feel good. And begin by closing the eyes or softening the gaze, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And just beginning to arrive, noticing again those feet on the floor, seat in the chair. And maybe you can lift up a little bit through the crown of the head and allow the shoulders and the jaw to soften. Feeling that core strength, but also allowing the belly to soften and fill as we breathe in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Beginning to arrive with some easy breaths. Arriving in whatever state of being you're in today. You're welcome here. See if you could take maybe 3 more breaths in a row. And then I'm going to rub my hands together. If I'm wearing glasses today, I might take them off for just a moment. That's totally optional. I'm going to be palming, which is something we can do to care for our eyes. So I'm just taking my palms, cupping them loosely over my eyes, blocking out the light for a moment, but drinking in this sort of nourishment of stillness. Rolling the eyes around within the sockets, lubricating the eyes. And then I will simply begin to draw my hands away and perhaps massage the contour of my face. Or if there's an area where I feel tension, such as the jaw or the brow, I can kind of get in there and massage that out a little bit. Move the lymph fluid, open up the sinuses, or if there's another part of the body that needs support, like the lower back or the neck, you can turn your attention there. All right, starting our session with a little self-care. And then we'll go ahead and take those glasses back on if you are ready. Beautiful. And we'll do a little bit of head and neck and hands. So I still have my feet on the earth, and I'm going to, throughout this session, continue to imagine our roots traveling down into the earth. And my roots are going down deep and they're spreading out wide. And I'm trying to get over there to Aberdeen, Scotland. I'm trying to go over there to Northern California, New York, Vermont, Canada. And so maybe you can try to meet me and we'll have this beautiful anchor and base for our practice today. So a nice visualization we can do to remember that we're not alone. So take a breath in here. As I exhale, I'm just going to bring my right ear towards my right shoulder. I'm going to come back to center with an inhalation. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Breathing in, center, breathing out to the right. And you can do this at whatever pace feels right to you. You can linger, right? Or maybe you want to move more quickly. And I'm just observing, how does this feel in my neck and my shoulders? Is there one side I go to that is giving me a little more resistance, or is there one side that's a little more easeful? You got it, Renee. We're going to do one more on each side. Just noticing. Beautiful. Well, coming back to center, I'm going to bring my hands so you can see them, but you can bring your hands at whatever level feels right to you. And we were talking with Amy at the beginning of class about how this is helping with her symptoms of Raynaud's. So we're just going to be pressing each finger into the thumb for about 3 seconds with some forcefulness. And don't worry if not all the fingers respond the same. We're just doing what we can do, focusing on what we can do. Could be good for osteoarthritis. And of course, it's a way to focus the mind as well. So I'm pressing my fingers into my thumb one by one for about 3 seconds. Just sort of getting my hands warmed up. All right, and then let's go ahead and bring the arms up out to the sides like a cactus and open the palms, wiggle the fingers. And then I'm going to flick this imaginary water off the ends of my fingertips. And I'm going to do this with a lot of intention. What do I want to get rid of? I'm getting rid of this through my fingertips. And I might get a little bit faster. And I'm starting to notice that it's easier for me in one side, my dominant hand. It feels more controlled. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands into the lap and just notice that vitality in your hands and your arms. And then we'll stretch this right arm out to the right and bring lots of space between the fingertips. Tilt the fingertips back towards the face a little bit, so wrist stretch. And I'm tilting my left ear to my left shoulder. And I just love this exercise so much. Circling the palm. And gradually I'll be moving my circles downward little by little with my exhalations. Doing this as slowly or as quickly as you like. And then eventually you could bring the arm behind the back and just rest the back of the hand on the sacrum. You still have that left ear tilting, and then I'll spin my chin down. So I'm getting a really nice stretch in that right shoulder. And adding to this, I mean, it's great to get into the posture, but what about adding the breath and mindfulness? This is at the heart of yoga is this union of layers, body, mind, spirit. So in every posture, I'm trying to really inhabit the physical posture, but also observe with my mind and then infuse with my breath. And then coming out of that and noticing the difference in the sides between your right side and your left side now. So just observing the effects that this practice has on me in just a very short amount of time. I'm going to bring my arm out to the side, lots of space between the fingertips, tilt the fingertips back. Gordon, I hope I said hi to you. I did send my tendrils to you down in North Carolina. All right, lots of space, and then I'm going to tilt my left ear to my left shoulder, or my right ear to my right shoulder, excuse me, and I'm just going to circle the palm. Easy circles moving downward little by little. That's good. We can make sure that right shoulder is softening as well. Little by little, I'll bring my arm down, eventually resting the back of my hand somewhere on my lower back, right? Or you could rest the hand on the hip. I still got my right ear tilting, and then I'll spin my chin down and see if I could really inhabit this with the many layers of myself. For one more easy breath. All right, and then I'm coming back up, and I'm going to stretch both arms out to the sides, and I'm going to lift my heart and arch my back a little bit. Maybe my arms move back, and then I'm going to swing my arms in front, interlace my fingers, and just pull the arms away. So the only thing really moving you'll see are my shoulder blades. I'm not really rounding the back, I'm just sliding the shoulder blades. Inhaling, opening, arms back, heart lifted, squeezing the shoulder blades. That's good. And then coming forward with the hands, interlacing, pulling the arms away. Good, big breath in, arms wide. And then we're interlacing the fingers, the palms are facing me. And then I'll pull the arms away from the body, and then I'll push my palms away. Good idea, Steve. And juice up the fingers. And lift the arms up as far as feels comfortable to me. Kiss the ceiling with my palms maybe. And then bring the arms down, float the arms down, grab onto my chair or wherever feels good to me. And I'll get into a little bit of a back bend cobra shape. So I'm just lifting my heart towards the ceiling, squeezing my shoulder blades together, and if it felt okay on my neck, I might lift my chin. But if I have cervical issues, I'm going to keep my chin level with the earth. And I'm still getting this beautiful opening across the chest. See if you can breathe into that, all that surface area. And then we can release and let go and let the arms swing forward and back a few times. Just letting whatever burdens or tensions or concerns you have right now in your life kind of drip off the ends of the fingertips. As if it were that easy, but visualizing this happening might help. Okay, so now we're going to move to some whole body movements, and I'm going to just move back into this farther away chair, and we're going to be taking a sip of water now, learning from our friends out there who were feeling fatigued that hydrating really well helped with that feeling of fatigue. So check with your doctor about dehydration being a possible cause of that if you're feeling fatigued. Thanks for the tip on that one. All right. So I'm going to take a little bit of a wider stance. I'm sitting for now. Sorry for the confusion there. Sitting for now, and I'm just going to bring my right arm up and over, leaning to the left. So I'm opening up that right side body. And we're coming back to center and seeing how this would feel on the other side. Left arm up and over, anchoring down through the feet in the seat. Breathing in, right arm reach. Breathing out, extending. Moving at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling. And we'll take one more on each side. I'm sending those roots down. And at the same time, I'm reaching up and extending. All right, and then I'm going to come back to center with the arms out to the side and just kind of loosely playing with my arms here. And then I'm going to twist a little bit to the right, twist a little bit to the left. My torso is doing the twisting, and I can feel the strength in my core. And I'm taking this moment to look around my space and really actively set an intention that this is my healing space today. In this space, I can take really good care of myself. Coming back to center and giving yourself a hug, one arm on top, doesn't matter which arm. Tucking my chin and taking a breath in and a breath out. One more breath in, breath out. And then I'll release my hands to my chair or to my lap and take some circles of my torso. Still sending those roots down. Circling in one direction, it could be quickly, it could be slowly. Maybe you notice how this feels in your hips, in your lower back, in your wrists. You can come back the other direction when you're ready. And then I'm coming back to center and bringing my arms down at my sides. I might walk my feet back so that they're about hip width distance apart. I'm going to inhale my arms out and up and exhale my hands to heart center. Breathing in, out and up. Breathing out, hands to heart center. Good. Reaching up. And bringing what you need into your practice today. Breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, pressing those palms together. Taking one more of these. Good. I've got my hands to heart center in what's called Anjali Mudra. And in this posture, I'm balancing the right and left hemispheres of my brain and therefore body. So this is a good posture for balance. I'm getting ready to do some balance. I'm going to be working with my core, but as I rest in this posture, I can think about the right side of my body from head to toe, infusing the whole right side of my body with my awareness. And when I feel like I've done that to my best ability, I can switch and infuse the whole left side of my body with my awareness from head to toe. And remember the saying that we have in yoga, that where awareness goes, energy flows. So this is a really wonderful thing you can do to embody before you practice maybe harder poses. All right, rubbing those hands together, creating a little friction, and maybe just shaking the hands out. All right, I'm going to scoot to the back of my chair and lift both legs up. And if you want the support of the chair is there, but I'm trying to keep my back away from the back of the chair. And I'm getting a really good sort of stretch for my legs here, contracting the thigh muscles, but I'm also really working with my core muscles to sit up tall. If that's not really something you can do without rounding the back, move to the back of the chair, and then I'll release the legs down. Okay, so that was one of our chair boat poses. You can do another one in the same place, or you might want to come forward a teeny tiny bit more. And I might want to grab onto my chair if I feel like I need it. I'm zipping up my legs, and I'm zipping up my core. I'm sitting up tall. And I might want to bring one or both arms straight out with the palms facing each other. Letting the shoulders relax. One more breath. And releasing, massaging the tops of the thighs. You could stay here, you could move back, or you could move forward one iota. I could grab onto my chair, lift my feet up, zip up my legs. Maybe I want to keep my hands on the chair for this. You've got it, Gordon. Beautiful. Zip up those legs. And we're breathing here. One more big breath. Really feel the work. And then I'm releasing and massaging the tops of the thighs. Okay. So if there's any other movement that your body's asking for before we come to stand, you could do that now. Maybe you want to do our version of a cat-cow, so I might want to bring my elbows back, push my heart and belly forward, arching the back, really accentuating that lumbar curve. And then instead of rounding, I'm just going to bring my arms forward and tilt my pelvis back. Right? If you are clear to do so, meaning you do not have severe osteoporosis, you could round the back a little bit. Tuck the chin. And we're just moving back and forth between those two shapes, extending or arching the back, coming to a neutral or rounding the spine. Right? Whatever feels best for you. If there are any other movements that you would rather be doing, of course, you can do those. Yeah, a little shoulder work, whatever feels good. Sip of water. And then let's go ahead and move to a standing posture. And we're going to come to a standing posture slowly so we can get something out of this transition. I'm going to remember about my core here as I lean forward, nose over knees. I'm creating a little momentum. And then I might push into my thighs and lift up a little bit and come right back down. Right? If you have knee issues, maybe this isn't for you and you could just come to stand. But I'm working towards bringing some awareness to muscles that I will need for this, such as the glute muscles and the core muscles, among many others. Coming to stand whenever you're ready and walking it out. Walking it out, getting set up, maybe taking that sip of water if you would like. Taking that sip of water. Resetting your chair or your camera. You've got it. And coming to stands in our mountain pose. And I might just quickly kind of infuse my body with my awareness from head to toe, my whole right side of my body, my whole left side of my body. Holding onto my chair if I would like. I could come up onto my tiptoes and release back down. Tiptoe floats are so great for strengthening the calves and the ankles. And you can notice, am I pushing up through my big toe? I should not, well, I don't want to use the word should, but I would like to use the strength of the structure of the big toe. That's what it's there for. It's to help me with this motion, to push up and away. And then I might go ahead and lift one or both arms and float my way back down. Breathing in, arms rise. Breathing out, arms descend. Maybe it's a slow float and flutter, or maybe you're flapping your wings quickly. Either way is fine. Just lifting up and releasing down. See if we can do this 3 more times. Beautiful. Last one. All right, and then I'm sinking into my knees, and I'm going to bring my hips back. I'll pull my belly towards my spine, so I'm kind of decentuating or erasing the lumbar curve, keeping my chin level with the earth and bringing both arms straight out. So this is our chair pose. And you can really turn on those glute muscles. Soften the shoulders. Palms can face each other. That's good, Anita. Take a big breath in and then come out of it. All right, let's do a few pulses like that. So I'm going to sink down and bring my arms back. As I inhale, I'm going to swoop up, straighten my legs. Exhale, sink down, arms back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink, arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Moving at your own pace, we'll do 3 more. You've got it, McDonald's. Very nice. Last one. And then I'm just coming up and bringing my hands to heart center, taking a little bit of a wider stance and circling the hips. Maybe the hands can come to the hips and we can move in the other direction. Beautiful. Taking the arms down at the sides and doing another set of those side bends. This time as I lift my right arm up and over, I'm going to really let my left shoulder be loose and even dangle a little bit. Maybe you could even swing that left arm and really feel that space in the left shoulder. Good. Coming to the other side. Left arm lift up and over. My legs are strong here, and I'm letting my right arm relax. And we'll do that one more time on each side. Right arm up and over. You got it, Anne. Letting that left arm dangle. And just going as far as feels good to you. Right? It might not look like what I'm doing, and that's okay. All right, and then we'll come back, and I'm going to walk in place for a moment. So getting the balance of my arms, swinging, counterbalance here, opposite arm, opposite leg, opposite arm, opposite leg, and I'm lifting up through my solar plexus. I can really feel the strength there. I'm breathing. And then I'm going to stop for a moment with a little bit of a wider stance. I'm going to bring my arms out to the sides. And I'm going to try to cross crawl, what's called cross crawl. So opposite knee towards opposite elbow does not have to touch. And I'll notice that this becomes a little bit of a balance challenge, especially if I'm going slowly. Right? So do what feels best to you. There's a little bit of a torso twist. And I'm getting my core warmed up here so it can really help me during our standing balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's take a little breather in down dog. I'm going to take my hands to my chair or my countertop. Walk myself back, getting a stretch for the backs of my legs and some space in my spine. I'm keeping my head lifted. If I have glaucoma or vertigo, And I'm sending some roots down into the earth through my feet. Taking some breaths. And when I'm ready to come up, I'll come up slowly and I'm going to step just that right foot forward. And the left foot is going to come back. I'm going to create some space between the feet here, so walking the right foot to the right. And this time, all 10 toes are going to be pointing in the same direction. And I'm going to lift my back heel up and place it back down. So I'm giving myself a calf stretch and a little bit of toe work here in my high lunge. Right, so my torso is lifted. When you're ready to come out of that down dog, you can step the right foot forward and bring the torso up. All right, and then I'm going to just sit here in my high lunge for a moment. So I've got that right foot forward, left foot back, heel is lifted. If that feels uncomfortable for you, you have issues in your left foot, you can come bring the foot onto the earth. And then I'll go ahead and just bring one or both hands to my heart center. You've got it. It's a big stretch for that left hip. I'm squeezing the left glute muscle. The back leg is maybe straight and strong. And if that's not possible, you can shorten the stance. All right, and then I'm going to come out of this nice and slow. Step the left foot forward and bring the right foot back. Lots of space between the feet for a nice wide foundation. All 10 toes pointing forward. And I'm lifting my back heel up and pressing it down. So I'm getting a really good calf stretch and some toe work, toe strengthening here. And then I'm going to sit where feels best for me in my high lunge. And if I felt safe doing so, I could bring one or both hands to heart center. That's beautiful, Ginger. Torso is upright, so I'm not leaning forward in my torso. You got it. One more breath. All right, and then I'm coming out of this nice and slow. And I'm walking it out, and I'm dancing it out, and whatever movements feel good. And then we're going to get into our beautiful tree pose. Walk it out, jog it out. Just kidding, I don't want to jog. We already did that at the gym, right, Anita? No need for jogging in our yoga class. So our tree pose, let's go ahead and make sure we have a support nearby. And I'm going to start with that visualization of my roots going down into the earth. And I'll start with my weight in my right foot, and I might take just a little bendy bounce here. So my knees have a little micro bend. I'm going to pick up my left heel off the earth and open my knee to the side and see how that feels for me. If I feel pain or discomfort in that left hip, I'm going to maybe angle the knee forward a little more. Right, if that feels okay for you, you can zip everything up in the core and maybe place the foot on the calf, or however you like to practice tree if you have a yoga practice. And I'm working towards taking my hands to heart center for a millisecond, and then bringing my hands to the chair as needed. So if I wobble out of it, that's fine. That's the point at which I want to reach my wobble point. I want to find the place where I fall out of it, because this is where I will find my gains. And if I'm not finding that right away, I might even try closing my eyes and really challenging myself, but only if you feel safe doing that. And that will really add. Okay, come on out of it. That's enough time in tree pose. You know, I like to do a pose for maybe 3 to 5 breaths, if it's a held static pose. And then we'll try the other side. And that seems to be the magic number also for bone strengthening, for putting enough pressure on the bone that you can stimulate bone-making proteins. So holding a pose for at least 10 seconds. You can imagine what's happening in the hips. Weight will come into that left leg, Little bend in the knee, picking up that right heel, opening the knee, seeing how this feels on this side. Zip it all up. And then working towards finding a place to rest the foot anywhere but the knee. And I'm pushing that foot into the leg, and the leg is pushing back. And we're working towards finding a moment of balance. Looking somewhere far away and softening the gaze. Finding that falling out point, purposefully seeking that out. This is normal. Beautiful. And then let's go ahead and walk it out. Really nice job. Take a sip of water. And then we'll go ahead and I'm going to turn to the side for this one. I'm going to bring my feet together. And I'm going to roll out an imaginary balance beam in front of me. My arms are going to come out to the side like a tightrope walker. And I'm just going to be walking heel to toe, gazing at something that's ahead of me. If I have to look down, that's okay. And then I'm going to be walking backwards, heel to toe, right? And just sort of challenging my sense of balance, making sure there's nothing you're going to trip over on the floor. And just working towards walking forwards and backwards at my own pace. And continuing to find my breath. Maybe you want to freeze frame, hold on your balance beam, bend the knees, push the feet apart. You're really turning on a lot of muscles there. And then you might come out of it and switch. Which foot is in front? Bend the knees, push the feet apart like you're glued to the spot, and then come on out of it. So that's some things you can practice. It's especially helpful if you have a rug that has some kind of pattern with a line in it. You can pretend is the balance beam, or a pattern in the flooring. So let's come mindfully to sit. And you can take a chair pose on the way to chair, sitting. Right, so I might come down really slowly. You got it. Fresh legs in the morning. Am I right, friends here in the US? I could see a difference in folks that I usually practice with in the afternoon. I can see a difference in your balance. Might be a little bit different in the morning. So let's cross that right ankle over the left knee, or thereabouts. You can adjust accordingly and maybe take a moment to touch the bottom of the right foot. See what you can notice there, right? If you're having difficulty feeling the feet today, you might do a little tapping. This is one thing our Tai Chi teacher is teaching us. Boy, that's a mouthful. Tapping the bottom of the foot and maybe going up the leg. Whatever feels good there. I'll move into my hip stretch. So I'm grabbing onto my shin. My back is straight. Obviously, I have natural curves in my back, but I'm just going to lean forward without rounding my back. And I'm only going to move to the place where I feel a healthy stretching sensation. So that's something that I cannot determine for you. You have to determine that for yourself. How far is too far? And some folks who are hypermobile actually really can't determine that. And so I with those folks, I will say go to 75% of your perceived effort. And that will usually, sometimes they push too far past their flex, because they're so flexible in the ligaments in the joints. Okay, come up nice and slow and cross that knee all the way over. I'm going to be taking a twist to my right using my core muscles. Grabbing onto my chair, grabbing onto my leg or wherever feels best. And I'm softening both shoulders. Beautiful. Peeking over that right shoulder, getting taller as I breathe in. And as I exhale, I might twist a little deeper, wringing out the sponge of my core muscles. And slowly making my way back to center and switching sides. So I've got that left ankle over the right knee, and I'm going to give my left foot a little attention. Maybe it's just a little massage, or maybe you want to do some tapping. So just, it's kind of like a patting motion that you can do with either the flat of your hand, or you can do it with your knuckles. Feel free to peruse the YouTube channel that we have. There's the 2 Tai Chi classes, and Rami will explain that a lot better. Grabbing onto my shin or whatever's available and moving into my hip stretch when I'm ready. So I might just lean the heart forward with a flattish back and tuck the chin, allow the shoulders to soften. I'm inhabiting my body with my breath, my mind. And then we can sit up, cross the knee over, and take that twist to the left, twisting to the left, using my core muscles. Though my hands are here for guidance and support, I'm using my core muscles to twist to the left, and very often my shoulders will start to hike up. So just a reminder, let those soften. We're breathing in, getting taller, twisting, wringing out the sponge of the insides, and then slowly making your way back to center, making any other movements the body's asking for. Maybe a stretch, maybe you want to take some sips of water and get into a comfortable posture. Today we'll just stay seated, but if you really are tired, you could come to recline. So coming to find a comfortable posture where you feel supported. So we're going to start with the feet on the earth. Can you hear that bowl okay? Yes, okay, wonderful. So let's take a moment to integrate all of what we've just done by resting and by doing a little nothing. So I'll invite you to soften the eyes or close the eyes. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Once again, I'll invite you to send those roots down. As you breathe in, draw the nourishment up from those imaginary roots into your body. And as you breathe out, you can send the roots a little deeper, a little wider. Breathing in nourishment and support. 2 more breaths. Connected. In your practice, you could bring the hands to heart center. And we'll close our session with the sound of 1 Om and 3 Shantis for peace. You can just listen, or if you'd like to join in or make some other sound, that's welcomed. Breathing in. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. And thanking you so much for your practice today, friends. Namaste. I hope to see you in another class soon. That's tomorrow, we'll have Sharon. She's doing a cardio strength class with us, and that will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. GMT. And then next week, what is next week? We're going to be having our writing and meditation webinar on Wednesday and our cardio flow class on Friday. So I'll be sharing a calendar with you in the follow-up email. And I hope to see you soon, friends.